right. Hi, everybody. I'm Alex. We're going to talk about boils and abscesses. So please like, subscribe, and share. So we're talking about boils and abscesses because they respond well to energy healing and because I've worked with them enough to have a feel for what they have in common. Across many different clients in my experience. Of course, there's always going to be exceptions, but my feeling is that they come up in people who have low vitality and high toxicity. So, a lot of people, when they either in late addiction or trying to cut down on a substance abuse, will get nasty boils. But on the other hand, most boils and abscesses are not too difficult to deal with because the body wants to heal. They are acute infections that you've already got the body on your side. So that makes energy healing that much easier. So say you've got a client, let's use my body as an example. Say you've got a client with a boil on the arm, okay? The first thing you're going to do before you feel for the boil is you're going to feel around it and you're just going to get a sense of the vitality of that person's body and feel that person's immune system fighting that boil. Get a feel for their general health, which you can feel quite easily. And you're also just familiarizing the person with the sensation of being touched. Okay, next you're going to feel the boil itself. So gently, gently, gently familiarize the person with the sensation of your hand on that part of their body and feel for the infection. Can you feel the inflammation of the body, the heat, the redness, that fighting quality that energy has, the pressure in that part of the body? Those are all good signs. Those are your friends. You're going to work with that energy, not against it. Can you feel the infection, the pus inside there? What does that energy feel like? How big is that hole inside there that's filled with pus? And what color is the energy field of that infection? Usually I would expect to find that it's gray. In other words, washed out, dirty, low vitality, joyless, often associated with depression, or like stale, old, stuck, polluted energy. It's old drug poisons that give that vibe as well. And you'll often find that energy is held within the boil. Even with someone without a substance abuse problem, that emotional energy may well be held there. So before we go into the emotions, let's start with simply flushing that infection. So the first thing you're going to do is use your own energy field as a channel for healing energy. You're going to invoke healing energy. You're going to get nice and grounded. You're going to get connected with red, with that immune system power, and that very base chakra, that lower vibration of the lower chakras. Okay, so you don't want to go all etheric into the angelic realm. That's not the realm you're working on. You're working on the realm of fight for the survival. You can do it. You are strong, and your body deserves to live. Okay, so with that kind of energy, you're going to go in and you're going to fill that energy, that space, with healing energy. Of course, you might have to hold off the hand, off the body, because of the painfulness of that area. Plus, you want to keep your hand clean. Okay, so fill it with healing vitality. Now you're going to flush it. So you take the infection feeling and you put it off and you toss it. Take off the infection, rub your hands, and bring in the healing energy. Okay, now this is more effective if you get the person to work with you and breathe in healing, breathe out infection. Out the infection into your hand like a heavy lead ball and absorb the healing energy that you bring in like a sponge. or whatever the analogy is that feels right for that person and that infection at the time. Okay, so once you've done it with your hands, you're now going to go to the meridians. So say you've got your boil is here. Okay, so along this bone, there's going to be a meridian flow. So you want to connect closer to the body and on the other side away, so that that little line of energy where that boil is possibly getting in the way, you're going to be able to flash that energy through, and you're going to feel what's happening. Does the infection travel with the meridian along the arm, or does it does clean energy come in and wash it? Just feel what's going on. Okay, once you've done that, you want to go to the other axis. So this is your boil. You want to go to, oopsie, sorry. You want to go from this side to this side and just feel what's going on. You can alternate between them. Like what you can do is you go there, you press a little bit. So that if you're not exactly on an official meridian, just press a bit on that bone, then press a bit there. Then you can do one hand with a palm, holding it, and the other hand doing a little vibration that sends the energy to the palm. The palm holds and comforts. Okay, that's called mother and child. So once you've done that, and possibly also this axis, so just feel what's happening on the other side of the arm, and you can work like that. Okay, right. So now it's going to shift the energy in that infection. You can go back to the filling with healing and flushing off. Filling with healing and flushing off. Okay. Now that you've done the physical, you'll reach a point where it feels like there's nothing more to do on that level, and it doesn't take a lot. You can go to the metaphysical. So you're going to stop talking to the human being whose arm you're working on. You start talking to the arm as if it's a separate individual. Okay. And this might be a silent conversation. It probably should be, so you don't sound too odd. But it's as if, almost imagine that this part of the body is a little creature, that like the pet of the person. Now, has this person been looking after their pet? Is this a happy pet? Listen to this pet and see, are they feeling cared for? Are they feeling safe? Are they feeling happy? And usually you'll find that this part of the body is holding on to feelings of abandonment, bleakness, lack, and loss. That is the general vibration I expect to find with a boil. So you comfort and console that part of the body. And you listen to its emotional woundedness. And you can then flush that in the same way that you flushed the infection. So you would say, breathe out sadness into my hand, and we take it to heaven and we give it to God or your creator of choice, because I know some people have God issues. Okay, but I'm going to say God. Okay. So then from God, you take unconditional love and acceptance, because that's vast and it's for all living beings, blah, blah, blah. So for me, that's an easy access. So I can access that and reach it with authenticity. So once I've got that held in my energy field, that I resonate with that, I bring that acceptance back to that part of the body. So I'm not just tossing that loss aside, I'm rather transmuting it into a feeling of its opposite, of what feeds and nourishes that abandoned aspect of self. So you're going to keep working with that arm until it starts to feel happy and loved and comforted and safe and consoled. Okay, so once you've got this arm is a happy arm, then you can start bringing in the human who owns the arm, thinks they own the arm, and ask them to release loss and accept unconditional love until you reach a point where it starts to feel done for now. You don't have to get everything done at once. Because it's an infection, I recommend working on it 3 times a day if you can, twice a day if you can't work on it 3 times a day, and at least once a day minimum. There's always going to be more to add in that I haven't put into this information, and there's always going to be exceptions. So go and play and experiment and see what works for you. And good luck, and keep raising the vibrations. See you next time. Bye.